Good morning. My name is Catherine Daw, principal of Triton High School. On behalf of the faculty and administration of Triton, I am happy to welcome the parents, guardians, relatives, and friends of our graduates to the class of 2019 commencement ceremony. We request that everyone remain in their seats during the entire ceremony in order to extend every courtesy to all in attendance. Thank you for understanding and respecting our wishes. It is a distinct honor and a great pleasure to present to you the graduates of the class of 2019. We ask that you please remain standing for our national anthem. At this time, I ask all of us to observe a moment of silence in memory of the members of our armed forces who have lost their lives in service and those who serve our nation today. We would also like to recognize our graduates who will be serving in armed forces upon graduation. Emily Carvalis, the Navy, Dylan Hartman, and Joshua Price, the Marines. Additionally, we ask you to remember during this moment of silence Jacob Stanley, a member of the class of 2019. Thank you. Please be seated. At this time, I would like to introduce to you our Masters of Ceremonies for today's commencement. Graduating seniors, Allie Hawks and Wasif Shaman.
I would like to introduce our guests for today's ceremony and ask them to briefly rise when their name is announced. The chairperson of the Triton Regional School Committee, Mrs. Narissa Wallen. And members of the school committee joining us today, Mrs. Maureen Heffernan, Mrs. Dina Sullivan, and Miss Linda Litkovsky. I would also like to recognize the selectmen from our towns. From Rowley, Mr. Joseph Perry. From Salisbury, Mr. Charles Tikesian. From Salisbury, Miss Ronalie Ray Parrott. And also Mr. Freeman Condon. Now I'd like to recognize our Massachusetts State Senator, the Honorable Bruce Tarr.
They're all here.
Okay.
And her.
Oh, my fault.
And her.
Okay. Gonna backtrack now a little bit. A few more school committee members joining us today. Mrs. Deborah Choate. And Mr. Paul Lees. Some selectmen from Newbury, Mr. Jeffrey Walker. Mr. Michael Doyle. And Mr. Damon Jesperson. I would like to recognize the Massachusetts State Representative, the Honorable Bradford Hill. And also I would like to recognize another Massachusetts State Representative, the Honorable Lenny Mira. Now I would like to recognize the school district's central office administrators, Mr. Brian Forget, Superintendent of Schools, Mrs. Kim Croto, Assistant Superintendent, Mrs. Michelle Cresta, School Business Administrator, and Mr. David McGee, Administrator of Special Education. And now I want to introduce Allie Hawks.
Hello. It is with both pride and respect that we acknowledge the faculty, staff, and administrators from the high school, the middle school, and each of our elementary schools present today at our graduation exercise. We will now ask our fellow graduates and all of our guests to join us in applauding these professionals, our teachers and staff, for their competence and dedication. Now we'll be hearing some remarks from our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Brian Forget.
Good morning, everyone. To the graduates, families and friends, distinguished colleagues, school committee members, local and state officials, welcome to the commencement exercises for Triton's class of 2019. Another round of applause. Let's do it. To the graduates sitting before me here today, my sincere congratulations on the many years of work that has gotten you to this point. To start, however, I need to clear my conscience just a little bit. The class of 2018 had one of the shortest academic years I could find on record, thanks to Mother Nature, although I did try to take some credit for that. This year, it was quite the opposite, and you had, one of the longest years on record for a senior class. That was entirely Mother Nature's fault. However, I did feel bad each time I had to make the call, as you reminded me through emails and desperate pleas and tags on Facebook and Twitter. Trust me, every time, it was the wrath of the senior class that I feared the most. However, I rest in the confidence that you have all been made better people for the extra days here at Triton. In all seriousness, I remember the feeling sitting where you are now approaching 30 years ago. On one hand, you're living in the moment, enjoying this amazing day, the milestone that has encompassed more than 3/4 of your lifetime, ready to throw your cap and race off to celebrate with friends and family. On the other hand, many of your minds are already racing, consumed by thoughts about the challenges that lie ahead in the coming months, years, and decades. As my daughter often says in those overwhelming moments, adulting is hard. I encourage you to embrace those feelings. Remember both your struggles and your successes, and anticipating the next challenge that lies ahead, because together they'll keep you driven but grounded, content with progress but eager for more, and continually striving for your next accomplishment. Perfect timing. That was a plant. You, the class of 2019, are the third graduating class I've had the honor of addressing in my role as superintendent. My first year, I challenged the class of 2017 to remember that communication is everything. Last year, I spoke to the class of 2018 and challenged them that they're the hope for the world that seems to be riddled with chaos. Doesn't seem that a lot has changed since last year, and we continue to live in a world where respect, tolerance, and care for those around us remains at an all-time low. So you, the graduating class of 2019, my challenge to you this year is to communicate well, and yes, be the hope for a chaotic world. But I want you to expect more. Expect more of yourselves and of others. You're heading off to be teachers, engineers, musicians, doctors, to join the military, work in the trades, or maybe taking a year to collect yourself. Regardless of where you land, you can bring about change in this world if you expect more. More of yourself, more of others, more of our leaders, and ultimately, more of this life. Regardless of your current circumstances, how good or bad things may be, you can choose to make things better. Make our world a place in which we respect differences and embrace contrasting opinions. Make it a place where disagreement with someone's beliefs doesn't mean you're relegated to bitterness and animosity towards them. Make it a place where regardless of your national origin, your gender, the color of your skin, your zip code, or your sexual identity, make it a place where people are respected, where they're welcomed, and they were appreciated for the things that you do have in common. At this point in your lives, you're crafting your values and your identity, just exactly where you should be. But remember, those values are being shaped either by choice and intention or by external influence in default. I challenge you to explore and understand your values for yourself and do that with intentionality and with purpose. And that will shape what you expect of the world and of yourself. You need to expect that you can make a difference, and you will. When you face obstacles in pursuit of your expectations, and you will, don't back away quickly from your values and expectations. However, as you push back against a response that you don't like, remember that communication is a two-way street. When you challenge a convention, a belief, or a statement made by another that you disagree with, you need to be willing to listen to that opposing opinion. And I don't mean that you need to be willing to just hear the words, but to actually listen and to understand what the other person is saying. If you truly expect more of yourself and of others, then your efforts to truly understand those with whom you disagree will either reinforce your values and expectations or it will allow you to adjust your own assumptions and further increase your impact in this world. Propensity to speak without the willingness to truly listen breeds arrogance. But respectful debate, that's how you change minds, yours and others. Members of the class of 2019, as you walk across this stage today, the culmination of 13 years of hard work, keep your spirit and your passion alive, expecting great things from those around you by modeling and holding high expectations for yourself. You've left a lasting impact on Viking Nation, and I'm confident there are even greater things to be done by each of you. Don't just want that. Don't just dream about that. Expect it. Thank you. At this time, continuing a tradition that is now in our third year, I am privileged to introduce to you our alumni speaker. Today's speaker was graduating from the 6th grade at Pine Grove School in 1995, the same year I began my career here at Triton. Many of you sitting before me remember her from your days at Pine Grove, or for some of you, as your 4th grade teacher. We are honored to have, and I am pleased to introduce our alumni speaker from the Triton's class of 2001, speaking to you today about what matters most, Miss Jillian Pinto.
Graduates, families, fellow educators, and distinguished guests, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today on this extremely special and memorable occasion. I'm humbled, flattered, so excited to be here, and I just need to tell you how much harder writing a speech is than I thought it would be. I racked my brain for what to say, praying to do anything but let you down, disappoint you, bore you. I Googled how to write a graduation speech, sat in a coffee shop for hours trying to think, distracted by everybody walking by, talked to too many people trying to get ideas, and then I received some amazing advice. The right words will just come to you. This caused me to realize 2 things. 1, don't ever procrastinate something like this again. And 2, just talk about what matters. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share a couple of things today that I hope you can take with you. A couple of lessons that I have learned in my life so far, and what I have discovered by observation and experience matters the most. If at first you don't succeed, skydiving isn't for you. Stephen Wright. Succeeding, successful, success. These are 3 of the most subjective words I have ever come to know. We talk about it all the time, hear about it all the time, and see it celebrated in person, on television, and social media daily. And the irony of success is, as you know, it is completely provided by failure. It's comforting to know that we are not alone in this. This includes everyone, including the infamous J.K. Rowling, who, being a single mother with no job and no money, sent her first Harry Potter manuscript to 12 different publishers just to have it denied by all of them. There was Walt Disney, a dropout with a failed attempt at joining the army, who filed bankruptcy and was fired from his next job for lacking imagination and having no original ideas. Yet one more is the infamous Albert Einstein, who didn't start speaking until he was 4 years old and whose behavior got him expelled from school while his teachers told him he would never amount to much. Lastly, one of the most beloved bands of all time was rejected by Decca Recording Studios, who said, quote, "We don't like their sound. They have no future in show business," unquote. The Beatles. Winston Churchill once said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." Believe it or not, you have known this all along. It's conditioned in us from the day we're born. Taking your first steps. If you were blessed enough to do so, that is definitely something to be celebrated. And if you haven't heard the story yet, ask. Your families, I'm sure, would love to tell the story about when they witnessed or found out about this incredible moment in your life, as they most likely remember it, just like it was yesterday. seeing your little baby feet toddle their uneven way across the floor, taking 2 or 3 stumbly steps forward before tumbling into their arms. This is indeed a huge accomplishment, a milestone worthy of every social media avenue known to our existence, a milestone full of tears, joy, smiles, laughter, shouts of happiness, one to be celebrated and talked about among loved ones with instant phone calls and texts. The precursory moments to this, however, are the ones that arguably matter more. The times where you began on your own brave accord, and to your parents' realization of, oh no, here comes this stage, to pull yourself up on anything you could, furniture, legs, crib walls, the moments where you let go and stood there wobbling on your own 2 legs, the moments where you tried and then leaning too far forward or backward, fell, the moment you got back up and tried again, not because of some inspirational speech, story, or quote, but because you somehow just knew that you had to. Encouraging words and coups from your family certainly helped, but mainly, you did it because you just did it. Somewhere along the way, however, we're conditioned to feel self-conscious, to feel like our failures define us more than our successes. We all make mistakes, we all fail, but we need to remember that it's the small victories that need to be celebrated. The small steps, the small moments, the failures, the setbacks, and the times that you got back up. It's those little steps forward that propel you into something larger and more recognizable, when in fact it's those little steps that lead you to where you lead you there to begin with. Steps turn into miles, and miles turn into marathons. That coveted finish line only available because of some grueling moments where you thought there is no way one more step is possible. Running, jogging, walking, crawling, it doesn't matter. Just keep moving forward. Small victories. Passing a test you didn't think was possible. Ignoring the cold pizza in the refrigerator. Waking up 5 minutes earlier than usual to finally be on time. Finishing your college application essay. Standing up for yourself when it matters. Standing up for a friend when it matters. Some examples of things that you do on a daily basis that are in fact small victories. We are our own worst critic, so quick to judge ourselves based on something we didn't do right or something we failed at, when indeed we don't take the time to look at all the things we have done. It's a much larger list if you really think about it. Have you ever done that and made a list of the accomplishments in your life so far, both the big and the small? Today, for example, it is again something monumental, bringing about the same reaction to when you took your first steps. Again, worthy of social media, phone calls, text messages, laughter, shouts of happiness, smiles, tears of joy. But today happened because of a million other little things. Today happened because of so many small victories and successes you've achieved, not just from your senior year, but from all the years leading up to it as well. I'm blessed enough to have the kind of job where I get to see and celebrate these kinds of moments on a daily basis. I love being a teacher. It is something I sometimes take for granted, but am reminded all the time, most humblingly, not to. Not a year goes by that I don't cry on the last day of school, saddened by another group of amazing children leaving my side. From September through June, Monday through Friday, from 8 to 3, they comprise my life. I'd love to say I don't take work home with me, but how can you not? When you care about those children as much as I do, and I know my coworkers do, you think about them when school gets out. You wonder if some are okay, if some are feeling better, if some will remember their homework in the morning. You tie shoes, wipe noses, dry tears, give hugs. You unclog pencil sharpeners, fix jam zippers, help with gloves and snowsuits, mostly in the elementary schools. Pick out good read-alouds, and then you put on good movies when the year gets long for everyone. You help bend academic mistakes, scrape knees, and friendships. Teaching is so much more than a job. It takes a lot of heart, and one thing I've learned in this time from graduating high school, sitting literally right where you are, the year that most of you were being born, until now, is that all of these small moments make up the important stuff. It's a student who helps organize a bake sale to raise money for your best friend suffering from cancer. It's an April Fool's prank from a student encouraged by your whole class because April Fool's Day is your birthday. No, really, it's my birthday. And you tell them you're not gullible. It's a Valentine's Day stuffed animal of an alien, crammed into a coffee mug that's so funny looking, you have to laugh at it every time you look. And it's a student who brings in a 5-foot-tall panda bear for movie and pajama day that's so big they can hardly drag it down the hall. And then it's continuing to see your class make paper jewelry for the panda bear as it sits in the corner as the class mascot. It's hearing a student belt out their version of opera during a class game. And then it's visits in the morning the next year when your students have moved on to 5th grade just to say hello. It's seeing two best friends that are basically brothers support one another continually. It's seeing a child put their arm around another's at the end of the day and bring them to the nurse because they don't feel good. In fact, they have taught me way more than I have ever taught them. Humor and kindness above all, support the ones you love, live in the moment, and appreciate the little things. Someone once told me, as the end of my very first year of teaching was drawing near, that I shouldn't be emotional about sending another class off for the summer. I was told, you are just a small bridge in their lives. That's it. And although this may have been harsh, I've determined that only one part is true. The term small bridge doesn't define anything than the amount of time I've spent with them. A drop in the bucket with the years to come in their life. This, however, never reflects the magnitude in which that time is spent, the water over which the bridge passes. Because in that class of students were countless moments that truly mattered, and dare I say made a difference. I am so proud to be standing here to you talking today. You have so much to be commended for. And with this, I leave you with one last little piece of advice. They always say, don't sweat the small stuff. Well, sometimes I think that's inevitable, and I want to reassure you that it's totally okay if you do. Just don't forget to celebrate it. Congratulations to the class of 2019. Thank you.
We will now listen to an instrumental selection performed by our high school band. Our first honor speaker is the student with the second highest grade point average, Abigail Genevieve Wing. As salutatorian, Abigail's theme will be the past.
To the parents, friends, and family members present today, I thank you all for taking the time out of your day to witness the culmination of years of hard work. Thank you for believing in us and helping us achieve our potential. To the teachers, faculty members, and coaches here, I am very grateful for your selfless support. We students are constantly inspired by your dedication to making this school community a welcoming and enriching environment for all. Last but not least, I welcome the class of 2019. Yeah! Everyone is so proud of you for making it this far. Now, I invite you, students, to think back on your 4 years at Triton, to acknowledge the memories that shaped you into who you are, and to appreciate the smallest details that really made a difference. I remember how motivated I felt 4 years ago, anxiously awaiting the rumble of the school bus. I recall clutching my wrinkled schedule in my clammy palms, walking through the unfamiliar maze of hallways, and feeling intimidated by all I could not prepare myself for. The experience felt like no other. Coming home that day, in my sweat-soaked shirt, carrying my backpack filled with decades-old textbooks, I knew I had a lot to learn. In freshman year, we made every amateur mistake imaginable. We were the kids who entered the wrong math class on the first day, met with confused stares and stuffy silence as we shuffled out the door. We were the ones who wouldn't shut up in the cafeteria or on the bus. The ones who pestered substitute teachers and freaked out over failing one test. Getting a 75 on a quiz made it feel like college would now be out of the question. By sophomore year, we weren't as lost. We looked down on the freshmen, knowing they were leagues below us in experience and maturity. Obviously, we were superior. Losing homecoming only made us want to crush classes in years to come. By the way, we totally won. Soft seniors, yeah, nice try. With our ambitions intact and friendships formed, nothing was holding us back. As juniors, we learned how to be upperclassmen with no real privileges. Symbolically, we are at least older than the freshmen and sophomores, and I guess that counts for something. However, the weight of looming SATs and college visits gnawed deep at our consciences. While our responsibilities expanded, at heart we were the same old high school kids. Some days, all I could worry about was whether I wanted a peanut butter sandwich or a bag of chips, much less what colleges I wanted to apply to. Nothing could match the thrill in winter of waking up at 5:59 a.m. to the sound of the phone ringing and listening to Mr. Forge's declaration that school was canceled. Not much of that this year, though. Even after the 1,000th snow day, that feeling never got old. On the other hand, I will never forget the lackluster moments that made Triton truly unique. I can still picture the way the floor squeaked as we waded through a film of swamp water whenever it rained. The revelation that senior activities would be called off if we didn't get our acts together, and the biting cold of poorly ventilated hallways. As a senior, I feel slightly more savvy than my freshman self. At this point, I don't even have to look down at my schedule to know what class is next. Shocking, right? There are no longer days when I get halfway through my locker combination before completely forgetting it. I know what college I want to go to, what subjects interest me the most, and how to fill out the common application. However, there is still a lot I don't know. By this point in my life, I thought I would have everything figured out. My future career, ambitions, and goals. 1,359 days of anticipation for one moment, and then we're on our own. I see my high school years in fragments, and I recall each memory with a hazy sense of accomplishment. The anticipation building up to the first day of school 4 years ago. The triumph of winning a game of Kahoot. The smell of whatever mystery meat was wafting from the cafeteria. The crippling weight of a stuffed backpack on my shoulders. Being asked what I was working on by that one substitute for the 30th time. You know the one. Hey! Shout out Miss Jones. And now, the feeling of all your eyes up here, patiently waiting to get that slip of paper saying you succeeded, so you can get out of here to celebrate. Now that I've reached the finish line of my high school career, I can't help but think back to my starting point. My freshman self would not recognize the person I am today. 4 years ago, I thought of high school in a purely academic sense. I knew that if I worked hard, I could do great things in the future. In reality, we don't have to wait to leave Triton to enjoy and experience life. My best memories of high school are not the late nights spent studying for tests I will soon forget ever existed. What I truly recall is all of the special moments in between what was necessary to succeed. The announcement of a new VTV episode on the intercom, trying to keep myself warm at a football game, and the sound of the bell at 2:13 Triton time before summer vacation. Each and every student helped make my Triton experience memorable. There were the sports superstars, the talented musicians, the competitive kids obsessed with getting into top colleges, and the kids who turned up 30 minutes tardy to first period, dunks in hand. Amongst the fragments of experiences I've had at Triton are all of the students who made high school bearable. While many teachers never failed to tell us how annoying we were, I know that we will be missed. Rather than worry about what used to mean so much, like whether a teacher would round up an 89.4 to a 90, we will remember eating hundreds of lunches in the cafeteria of Triton with all of our friends. The feeling of departing for the year and saying goodbye to everyone before summer, and getting yelled at for breathing in the library. Hey, now that it's time, shout out other Miss Jones. Now that it's time to say one last goodbye, I hope you never forget how little details had momentous impacts on our lives. While I know we should look toward the future, taking a break to appreciate the journey never hurts. I wish great success to you all in your own time. Thank you.
Now we'll be listening to a choral selection as performed by the Triton High School Singers.
There's a beauty in the way that the street lights flicker on, when the night falls over me. Feels like you and I have stood here so many times before, looking out into a starry sea. Now I feel those times tap gently on my shoulder as I turn around to leave. Though I don't know where I'm going, no, I don't know, these times I carry here with me. All my life I've been inclined to believe that I should go when the road called out my name. Now I hear her gentle whistle and I must be on my way, but I know that you'll be with me just the same. If I should lose my sense of direction, if I should wander too far from home, I know I will find you. I know I will find you. I know I will find you. Yes, I know. All the people I have known and all the places I have been will never leave my mind. Even as I pull my coat up and buy a ticket just for one, I leave nothing or no nothing behind. If I should lose my sense of direction, if I should wander too far from home, I know I will find you. I know I will find you. I know I will find you. Yes, I know. Darling, I think you should know before we go our ways. Leaving here is bittersweet, 'cause though we're moving on, I've loved these days. If I should lose my sense of direction, if I should wander too far from home, I know I will find you. I know I will find you. I know I will find you. Yes, I know. Hey, I know I will find you. I know I will find you. I know I will find you. Yes, I know. Thank you. Thank you very much.
That was a Quentin Calloward original, so if we could just get another round of applause for him and all our Triton singers. Okay, so at this point we're going to have our second honor speaker, who is the student with the highest grade point average over 4 years, the valedictorian of the class of 2019, Elizabeth Rose Lindholm. As valedictorian, Elizabeth's theme will be the future.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Lindholm. To start off, I would like to thank everyone who came out to support the Triton class of 2019 as we look forward to walking across this stage and taking the next step into our futures. On behalf of the class of 2019, I thank all of our parents, guardians, siblings, and support systems at home for the endless amount of love and devotion you have put in throughout our years. Also, a big thank you to everyone here at Triton and across the district who has had a hand in our success and growth as not only students but as people as well. Although the impression our class has made on some of you may not have been the best at times, I know we appreciate all of you for always challenging us to reach our full potential. I would lastly like to thank the class of 2019. This milestone of graduating today would not hold the same meaning without each and every one of my classmates. This class has truly made the most of the high school experience, always searching for the next sports game or event to attend. As I'm sure you all know, I have been tasked with speaking about the future. To do this, I wanted to name just a few students who are heading off to interesting places. Allie Hawks is studying in France for 3 years to obtain her college degree at the Sciences Po in Paris. This acceptance is very hard to come by, as only a small portion of applicants are admitted to this top-ranked European university. Allie has been very you can give her a round of applause. Allie has been very involved in our French program here at Triton, participating in the French exchange trips and serving the role as president of the Foreign Language Honor Society. She is planning to focus on economy and society while studying there. She is just one of the many Triton students sitting here today who may study abroad in the future. By now, I'm willing to bet most of you have heard of our beloved musical prodigy, Quentin Callowart. Quentin's incredible talents have given him the opportunity to play with many accredited musicians. He even has his own album. This fall, he will be moving down to Nashville to study at Belmont University with the intent of majoring in commercial music with an emphasis on jazz guitar. While in Nashville, Quentin will also start a band and continue to create records and songs. He is just one example of the many students that will take their talents and create timeless art for us all in the future. Maggie Summit is heading to the University of Minnesota, where she will be a member of their Division I swim and dive team. Maggie has had a stellar swim career at Triton, being a member of our varsity team for 6 years. She was named captain and broke multiple school and state records, winning plenty of titles along the way. She will compete among some of the best athletes in the world. She is one of the many who will be continuing both their academic and athletic career at a place of higher education. Fellow senior Emily Carvelis is joining the Navy. Her enlistment will take place at the end of summer, and after serving our country, she hopes to become a police officer. There is no doubt that her years of hard work and dedication will carry over to her service. On behalf of the class of 2019, thank you for your future service, Em. Alongside myself, Juliana Orlandi is heading to Northeastern University, and although it is just a short drive to Boston, she will be hopping on a plane to study abroad at the University College in Dublin for her first semester. Starting off your college journey in a new country is an experience that most people are not fortunate enough to receive or brave enough to follow through with. Living across the ocean is certainly a daunting task, one that she will take in full stride. While in Dublin and back in Boston, Juliana will be studying nursing. She is one of the many soon-to-be Triton graduates who will expand their knowledge and take their intelligence into the medical field. These students are just a few that embody the passion, hard work, and motivation that the class of 2019 shares. These attributes will certainly take us far. There is no telling where we will end up in a few years or even a few days from now. We all have a path that's impossible to trace at this moment, but that is the thrilling part of moving forward. Our ambition, curiosity, and need for success will drive us forward and guide us on our paths. Now, my future will be different from Maggie's or Quentin's, but all of us started at Triton. This morning, high school becomes just a memory, and we are forced to deal with the new obstacles that come our way. We all have our goals and dreams, and whether it be going directly into the workforce, joining the military, or attending a college or university, we are doing something with our lives. Starting now, we hold the power to impact the world and take it by storm as we travel to France or Dublin, or set out to write songs for a record-breaking album, serve our country, or desire to win an NCAA championship. The days of staring at the clock in math class, desperately wishing it was 2:13, or hoping that Mr. Brennan wouldn't be hiding around the corner in the back lot as you're cutting study hall are over, and we can begin to move on to bigger things. As you pursue your next level of education or your next job or adventure, remember the people you have met here, and don't be afraid to reach out. The connections we have made here are an extensive support system that will definitely welcome us back with open arms. Finally, I'd like to finish by saying that this class has been notorious for being gregarious, but I am positive that this energy and knack to find fun will continue in the future as we part ways. So, as we embark on our next journey, I wish you all success and happiness, and know that I am truly excited to see what you all accomplish. Thank you, and congratulations.
All right, if I could now ask Ms. Daw and my fellow class officers of the class of 2019 to join me at the podium. Carissa Boyle, Madison Fecto, Isabella Lazinski, Grace Poster, Wasif Shaman, and myself will be presenting the class gift. Grace, you want to say it?
The senior class gift will be a donation towards a display case for our athletic awards.
I guess I don't need a script to say thank you very much. I am very proud to accept this gift from the senior class. Thank you very much. You may now be seated. Before I move on in the program, I will have to go off script a little bit. I apologize. I neglected to mention George Pickett as also joining the military following graduation. He will be joining the United States Marine Corps. Thank you. I did that. Thank you. At this time, I invite Narissa Wallen, the chairperson of the school committee, to award diplomas to the class of 2019. She will be assisted in the distribution by Mr. Forget and senior class advisors, Mrs. Olivia Cornell and Dr. Eric Champy.
We will begin with Elizabeth Rose Lindholm. Abigail Genevieve Wing. Carissa Rose Boyle. Madison Ellen Fecto. Ali Sandra Hawks. Isabella Irene Lazinski. Grace Caitlin Poster. Wasif Ahmed Shaman. Lee Sunshine McRae Anderson.
Michael Edward Armand. Ariella Luciana Baez. Connor John Beavers. Anna Elizabeth Behringer. Zachary Luke Benesh. Amanda Brianne Bowman. John Arthur Bradley. Kyle Gaetano Brancaleone. Gracie Evelyn Burnham.
Madison Reese Butler. Jennifer Ann Calkins. Quentin Callowart. Alexandra Morgan Carey. Audrey Louise Karen. Riley Paige Carter. Brandon Emmanuel Katuk Koch. Jared Joseph Sepio. I remember. Caitlin Marie Chasen.
Ashley Henley Cheshire. Amy Elizabeth Clark. Christia Kutzer. Franklin Joseph Cohen. Evan Alexander Colbert. Kayla Kerry Collins. Nathan Michael Cornoni. Jeffrey Michael Cross. Lydia O. Crowley.
John William Dieuphemia. Riley Elizabeth Daniels. Abigail Wright Densmore. Evelyn Suzanne Densmore. Eric Paul Dupre. Justin Matthew Doloff. Justina Irma Donahue. Big smiles. Nicholas James Doring. Joseph Michael Dussault.
Jacqueline Lee Downs. Erin Marie Drew. Peter Michael Drew. Leandra Amelia Druin. Jeremy William Duford. Matthew Colin Duncan. Alicia Jade Eaton. Catherine Kendall Eaton. Elizabeth Vaughn Elliott.
Vanessa Goulart Estevam. Anthony Joseph Farago. McKenna Grace Fauscher. Diego Jose Fernandez. Michael John Fish. Benjamin Louis Fougere. Aaliyah Hannah Frasca. Kelly Louise Fritzson. Lillian Jane Fulford.
Meredith Ann Fulford. Farah Eileen Gabriel. Lindsay Louise Gardella. Kevin Mack Garland. Sarah Elizabeth Gilbert. Cameron James Gilroy. Thomas Graff Gerard. Isaac Daniel Harrington. Dylan Marshall Hartman.
Morgan Olivia Hartman. Cyrus Michael Hawkins. Lucas Allen Helland. Shane Joseph Hill. Jessica Ann Hood. Mitchell Mintz Hopkinson. David Cordell Jackson. Emily Ann Carvelis. James Richard Kelly.
Samantha Elizabeth Kennedy. Jared Nicholas Knudsen. Kelly Lee Kozlowski. Isabella Rose Kretikos. Anthony Nicholas Cuffle. Lauren Elaine Kwiatkowski. Emma Catherine Leahy. Brandon Alejandro Leary. Gregory David Lewis.
You're going to flourish. Joshua Philip Lind. Sarah Elizabeth Long. Erica Paige Lops. Congratulations. Gabrielle Nicole Lowry. Congratulations. Juliet Jennifer Lumley. Congratulations, Molly. Molly Crawford McInnes. Great job, buddy. Derek Francis Michaud Maida. Spiros Markopoulos. Congratulations, Ainsley. Ainsley Elizabeth Marsh.
Thomas Roger Marshall. Melissa Araceli Martinez Rodriguez. Colleen Helen McCarthy. Grace Catherine McGonigal. Maximilian Madison McKenzie. Grace Mary McClellan. Luke Daniel Metivier. Alexander Seth Michaels. Rachel Kirtana Miller.
Jasmine Mohit. Jace Philip Mojica. Morgan Riley Monroe. Annika Valeria Mooney. Yes, I got it. Liv Ames Mosier. Congratulations. Jillian Taylor Nichols. Congratulations, buddy. Coleman O'Donnell Nicholson. Congratulations. Savannah Janice Nolan. Congratulations, buddy. Miles Standish O'Grady.
Elizabeth Joan Oliver. Margaret Ann Oliver. Amanda Jane Olson. Juliana Catherine Orlandi. Alexandra Michelle Palmerino. Jasmine Marie Papalardo. Devin Robert Parsons. Anthony Edward Particelli. Tirth Tushar Kumar Patel.
Tiffany Courtney Patterson. Rachel Lauren Phillips.
Congratulations, buddy.
Nathan Lester Picard.
Congratulations, buddy. Keep up the great work.
George Thomas Pickett.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thomas Henry Powis.
Congratulations.
Joshua Richard Price.
Congratulations, buddy.
Aiden Edward Proctor.
Congratulations, buddy.
Sophie Marie Proctor.
Congratulations, buddy.
Joshua Frederick Quintiliani.
Jonathan Michael Riley. Samuel Ryan Rennick. Caitlin Marie Roberge. Jonathan Gregory Rolfe. Caitlin Elizabeth Rooney. Shane Patrick Rooney. Adam Ian Rotberg. Maria Anna Shackleton. Bridget Catherine Sheehan.
Dylan Joseph Shute.
Congratulations, Kent. I wish you well.
Kendall Lee Sicard.
Congratulations, Sophia.
Sophia Lance Simeone.
Congratulations, dear.
Ashlyn Todd Smith.
Congratulations, dear.
Josephine Brooks Smith.
Congratulations, dear.
Ashley Marie St. Cyr.
Congratulations. You're so celebrating. You're going to continue to do wonderful things.
Maggie Francis Summit.
Congratulations, buddy. Keep in touch.
Adam Jason Silvanowitz.
Congratulations, buddy. You're going to continue to make them smile.
Justin James Szymanski.
Maggie Elizabeth Tardif. Jack Hayden Taylor. Alice Rose Thornton. Samuel Joseph Tidmarsh. Ethan Samuel Tugas. Noah Robert Trudell. Jack Joseph Tamino. Olivia Bond Valley. Dylan Michael Waters.
Lynn Dawn Wiedeberg.
Congratulations, Emily. I wish you the very best.
Emily Ann Wood.
Congratulations, buddy. I want to see your name in lights.
Jonathan Joseph Paul Woodbury.
Congratulations, dear. I know you're going to be successful. Thank you.
Alexandra Marie Francis Zabrowski.
Congratulations, honey. I know you're going to be wonderful.
And Paige Elizabeth Zukowski. Principal Daw, that is the conclusion of the 2019 graduates of Triton Regional High School.
Congratulations to each and every one of you. I now invite the class officers of 2019 to the front of the podium. And now, as the principal of Triton High School, by the authority granted in me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the Triton Regional School Committee, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduates of the class of 2019. Please move your tassels from right to left.